afternoon to all our fans on MAQ TV. Today we're very privileged to be joined by the former TKR player and TNT Red Force player as well, Mark Dial. Mark Dial is from Trinidad and Tobago. He has made a name for himself also at the US Open, a T20 tournament, where he actually got a man of the match title in the man of the match award in one of the finals as well. We'll get into that a little later on in the interview, but it's good to be joined by Mark. Mark, good afternoon. How are things with you?
Good afternoon. Everything is well. Just quiet for now with this whole corona situation, but other than that, everything's going smoothly.
Well, you're in Trinidad just like me, so things are pretty good in Trinidad in terms of the virus.
We actually had a lot of positive feedback and good news lately. We have no new case or no current case of COVID-19, which is great news actually.
And of course, in terms of the cricket, I know you're pretty disappointed because you're having such a great season in the domestic tournament. You're one of the leading batsmen, and all of a sudden, this virus knocked that off with 2 rounds to go.
Well, that's how it goes sometimes. But yeah, I was pretty disappointed because of the start I had thus far.
Give us an idea as to your stats, just an idea of your performances on the domestic scene here in Trinidad.
So I had a total of 418 runs, average 69, 2 centuries, 1 half century in 6 innings, together with 10 wickets at an average of 19.
That's wonderful indeed. I think that should actually land you one of those retainer contracts for the TNT Red Force.
Well, to be honest, as I said earlier, one of my goals that I set out was to, actually dominate the club cricket circuit and score the most amount of runs together with wickets and, make a claim for one of those contracts. So hopefully that, seeing that as the season ended with me being such on a high, hopefully that was enough to secure one of those contracts.
I said, speaking about domestic cricket in Trinidad and Tobago, your dad, Narayan Dial, who would have played for Trinidad and Tobago as well, I think he's probably the most, actually has dominated domestic cricket to an extent where he's the most prolific in the history of domestic cricket in Trinidad and Tobago.
That is actually correct. He has most centuries, most 50 over centuries, most runs, highest individual score. So just to name a few.
I think, did he score a 300 in one of the domestic?
He scored a 300, but I was playing for his local community club, Orange Field Sports, Karapachama Sports, sorry. And it was right after that. That's when Narayan Raghu encouraged him to make the move to Wanderers Sports Club.
And of course, from Wanderers, he went on to play for Trinidad and Tobago. How much of an influence has Narayan Dial been on you with your cricket?
To be honest, he has had a big part to play. But mostly like with the advice and the freedom, I should say, because as a dad as a parent who played for Trinidad, played at the highest level, played so much cricket. He actually balanced it well with not putting any pressure on me, and I think that was something that really allowed me to play with a lot of freedom and develop a love for cricket on my own rather than being forced upon me. And he always had always good advice. His advice was always though about to attack it and to be more calm in the approach, but other than that, we always sit and talk about, cricket and batting and even bowling as well, because he as a batsman, he tends to let me know how batsmen think when you're bowling. So it is we do have a lot of chats together about cricket.
And speaking about him saying that you're a bit too aggressive, I think if I recall correctly, one of the domestic games that was covered here, I think the very first scoring shot you had of the season, was it a 6 at Risa?
Actually it was. And funny enough, every game that I played thus far for the cricket season, the club season, I got off the mark with a 6 or a boundary.
Well, this was really your season. It's a pity that it ended soon. One hopes to see you on the one hopes to see you on the Trinidad and Tobago circuit now because I think you really deserve to be there.
Well, you know, to
Mm-hmm.
be honest with you, I even was speaking with my dad a lot, and he was telling me that obviously he has seen me from since I made my debut for Trinidad in 2015. He's
Mm-hmm.
seen me from then till now, and this season actually was the first season that he was there at almost all the games that we played, and he said that looking at looking my looking at my approach in the way I'm batting now, he says that he thinks that now I'm fully ready to play first class cricket because I'm understanding my game a little more. I'm selecting balls to hit, and I'm a little more patient in my approach.
Right, and I could have seen that as well because we would have covered most of the games here that you would have played, and you saw that maturity coming into your play as well, and you can't underestimate that off spin bowling of yours. Added to that, what has been the influence of your cousin Nicholas Puran on you, the man who has gone on now to play for the West Indies?
Well, to be honest with you, again with him is more of like a lot of discussions because we train a lot when he's here when he has time. We go by KRC by Vasu at the Ramparts Academy, and I must take this time to commend Vasu on his work thus far, and just his time and his efforts. And no matter what time we call on Vasu, he's always available, always willing to say, well, it could be because I can remember not to stray too far, but I can
Mhm.
remember when I was training for Super 50, 2 o'clock in the morning, me and Vasu would be there, 3 o'clock in the morning. You understand? So that's just the type of person he is. But back to the question, Nicholas has had a big influence lately, especially with me because seeing that he has um gone on to play for West Indies and around the world and stuff. He has a lot of experience. Um, Although he's young, he has a lot of experience, and he's someone that he doesn't keep it to himself. He shares and shares and shares. Up until just last night, we was talking, and he was saying that he's gonna start back doing running and stuff. So both of us should start up on that. So he gives a lot of advice about knowing your game strongly, knowing your strengths, your weaknesses, where to score your runs and these things. And he himself said that it came from speaking to like Shoaib Malik and all these senior guys that he have been around for a long time. And so that is the impact he has had. And I'll tell you something. This season, just before the season started, we were training and he kept talking about, sometimes it's not all the shots you have to play. Sometimes he say him, and that helped him because he has all the shots, but he's being selective, and he says sometimes just take a little patience into cricket, especially when you're attacking batsman, and you will find a way to score runs. And this season it really worked for me.
Well, it has been working for you, and it has been working for him as well. Just to switch a bit, though, Mark, the U.S. Open. I know it's a tournament that you really like to perform at. You really like to go up there. How many years have you been going to the U.S. Open T20 tournament?
I've been going there since 2013. That's when I had my first year was in 2013, I believe. We actually won US Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was fortunate to get the man of the match in both semi-final and the finals. Um, we had a really good team. We had a few Trinidadians together with um, a good mixture of Americans as well. There were Roy Silva, I believe, Jatin Patel, Sanju Patel was the owner.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it was a good team. We gelled well together, and things worked out for us.
What do you think of the standard of the U.S. Open tournament?
Honestly, I think the standard has been improving a lot over the number of years, and you can see it just by the number of international players making themselves available to come to the tournament. That in itself speaks volume because you have players. The last year that I played, I wasn't there last year because of we had trials. But the
Mm-hmm.
last year I played, we won it out again. But we had players like Lender Simmons, William Perkins, Sunil Narayan, um, Andrew Fletcher. You had Andrew Russell, Kenal Lewis. You had Xavier. You had a lot of world class stars. you know, participating. So that in itself shows that the tournament is just going from strength to strength thus far.
And you're looking forward to, if not, if the time permits, you're looking forward to going back this year?
Of course, I'm always looking forward to go to the US Open. You know, I'll tell you something. The US Open kind of kickstarted my career. Not much people know because not to the extent as it did with Ali Khan, but at that time, it was the first major tournament that I really participated in, and doing so well. The next day, I was invited to come again, and like people started taking notice from then, you know, because it was showed on MAQ TV as well. It
Yeah.
was broadcasted to a few local stations, and it actually helped jumpstart my career because a lot of people still, I'll tell you something, a lot of people still talk about the finals that from so long ago. Because sometimes when I go to the US Open, they'll be like, you see, you see the little guy that made all the runs.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Definitely so, yes. That was a wonderful tournament. I remember being there for that and seeing you perform. And well, this year there is hope that the tournament will be played from December the 16th to the 19th with all the COVID situation around. You know, there is this great hope. The situation is not that great in terms of the COVID in America, but Mark Qureshi and the executive, they are trying their very best to have a tournament in December.
I really hope that, things go well and they can pull off this year because, a lot of players, I can tell you something, a lot of local players from Trinidad, they always look forward to going to the US Open. Me,
Yeah.
myself included.
Number of local players. Speaking about Trinidad and Tobago players, you've had yourself, your cousin Nicholas Guran, Kyron Pollard, Sunil Narain. I've seen there Evan Lewis, Riyad Emrit, Adrian Ali. The list goes on and on.
Yeah, Shazam Baba.
Yes. Shazi Baba is something of a legend at the US Open. He has won, I think, 3 titles and reached the final on 4 occasions. And he is also with you at Presal Cricket Club. He was there this season with you. Speaking about cricket, and since you've been at the US Open since 2013, there's a guy called Mark Qureshi. You would have met Mark.
Yeah.
He has invested so much into cricket. What's your thoughts on him?
He must be. I think that Mr. Mark Qureshi doesn't get the credit that he really deserves. I'll tell you why. Because for one man, normally around the world you see these tournaments popping up, but it's a committee. It's always a set of investors, a number of people. And this guy, obviously he will have his little 1 or 2 helpers here and there, but I mean it's solely on his shoulders. And he must be commended because it's really a big effort by someone, both financially and in every other aspect. Because when no one was willing to make the effort to help, and I know his main goal and the bigger picture for him is helping US cricket improve. And you could actually see that it is helping US cricket improve because through the US Open you see players like Ali Khan, Steven Taylor, Roy Silva, even young Kyle Phillip. A lot of these guys who getting the opportunity to play against top class players, they are also improving on their skills. And it's a really big effort by him. And I honestly think he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. But he's not a guy that does it for the credit. He does it because he loves cricket and he also loves US cricket as well.
Yes, I've never met a man like him when it comes to cricket. I've never seen anyone loves cricket as much as Mark Qureshi.
Yeah, it's true.
Of course, you're also very close to Ali Khan, who is also close to Mark Qureshi. Tell us about your relationship with Ali Khan. When Ali's in Trinidad, every time you see Ali, you see Mark. Tell us about that.
Well, that kind of started back in 2018. It have to be because we actually played for the same team in Canada, right? For for Winnipeg Hawks, and we got sort of close across there. We developed some celebrations for when either of us took any wickets. And from then it grew. He got selected for TKR, And when he came across, obviously he became a fan favorite instantly. But
Mm-hmm.
before that, he didn't really know much people in Trinidad, and he's a nice guy. I must say, he's really a nice guy, because I know he's a very reserved, quiet person. But many times I've invited him home by me to have dinner, to hang out, and he never said no.
Yeah.
He loves gummy bears. He's a gummy bear lover. If ever you see him, ask him about gummy bears. He loves it.
Yes, I'll definitely tell him about that. And Ali is a very close friend as well. I know both of you. I think you were home by me one night for dinner as well.
Yeah, yeah,
That was just the night before that the finals was played in 2018, was it? And Ali took a wicket with the very first ball. I remember you taking him back to the hotel that night as well, and
yeah.
people just didn't want Ali to leave. But that's as you said before, he's a fan favorite here in Trinidad and Tobago. Mohammed Gummy Bear Ali Khan. So we're going to deal with him with that Gummy Bear. Mark
Yeah.
is going to take him to task. But Mark, let's talk a little bit about CPL and Mark Dial this year. The retainer list is out for the CPR, and we didn't see your name there. You must be a bit disappointed.
Honestly, I would say not too much, because obviously I am, but sometimes in life things happen that you don't know why it happened, and is a wonderful franchise. It's a family-based franchise. It's me and love a wonderful environment to be around. I like my time there. I enjoyed from the day the first day camp started to the last day of the semifinals. But I just thought that probably being there, I'm in the back line, right? I'm not really in the forefront. And speaking to my agent, actually shared some of the same views, and he was saying that probably it's better that it probably works out for the best that you're in the draft. Another team can pick you up, and where I can get to do my stuff, batting, bowling, fielding, three-dimensional. So probably it worked out for the best. You'll know when this draft comes and goes. But he was saying that he can't see why I won't be there, because I mean, the couple chances I got, I did pretty well. I've been to Dubai for the T10, so he was saying that it's not something to be that disappointed in. It actually can be a blessing in disguise. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Hopefully, that I could fall into a team, and get to play more games, have more playing time under my belt, because that is actually what is most important for me right now. Getting to play more games, more match time, to put myself out there.
Well, I think in the limited performance, the limited opportunities you have gotten, I think was the Red Steel back in the day. I think you did very well. I remember your very first game, you batted together with Jack Callis, and whilst at the crease, you were outscoring Jack Callis.
Well, you see, that's just my nature, right? I'm an attacking batsman by nature. So you're very rare you would see. I'm always, it works for and against, because I won't really eat up much balls. Is that I'm on the go or I'm out the go,
Yeah.
right?
But this
So
season you've been more on the go though.
yeah. So thankfully, fortunately, the couple opportunities I got, it was things worked in my favor, and I was able to put a good showing on. But like I said, I'm always about the team as well, right? And my job at the time, batting with him, even batting in this last CPL here, was to kind of maximize the power play, and at that time to be the aggressor. So that's exactly what I was doing, and I was trying to do actually. So that's just me. I do everything selfish. So I'm always about the team goals and the team um, achievements.
Wonderful indeed. Well, Mark, we want to thank you for spending some time with us here on the MAQ TV this afternoon. We look forward to you getting into the Trinidad and Tobago senior setup again. And also, we're hoping to see you at the US Open T20 tournament, which is the most popular league across there in the Americas. Thanks a lot for joining us, and have a good evening.
Thank you. Take care.
You heard it there from Mark Dial, and Mark will be looking to come up against some of the best opposition at the US Open T20 tournament. So as we continue our programming here on the MAQ TV, we want to encourage you to stay tuned and to stay abreast with all the news from around the cricketing world as we keep you, well informed with everything that is coming our way at MAQ TV. I'm Mamchan. Good afternoon.